Novo. What am I doing? Okay, I think I'm live with Barry Joe's Stull. We're discussing forma pauperis, which means in the form of a pauper. It's basically an allusion to a fee waiver program, or like the old Latin phrase denoting. You talk, Barry. I'm tired, but I'm going to let you just ramble and say whatever you got to say to the people. Or repeat what you said on Facebook earlier.
Sure. All right. Well, okay. You got to pay to play. There's fees to initiate legal complaint action in a court of law.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to have access to the court for everybody, there have, over the course of time, been developed processes and procedures that people utilize to establish that they still get to have access to the court, even though they don't have the money to pay the filing fees for whatever their circumstances are. Okay, so anyhow, my day today, December 14th, 2020, was to file through electronic filing application to proceed in forma pauperis.
In forma pauperis. Oh yeah, no, I'm just throwing that accent just for spelling purposes. Pauperis.
And I did that for a couple of reasons. That there's more than one reason, and I'll get to that. But I want to first clear the air. Now, Mark Twain, fake name, right? That's fake news already, right? Samuel Clemens.
Mm-hmm.
The pen name got famous, and we looked him up under Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain, and he had a story called The Prince and the Pauper.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different versions of that produced. I think Eddie Murphy during my lifetime did a Hollywood movie that had something to do with somebody that looks like somebody else. We could think of the Paul McCartney of the Beatles is Paul of Dick, right? Where there's a look-alike. And in the case of having a look-alike, so Saddam Hussein, right? The look-alike, so he didn't have to do public appearances. He'd have his look-alike go up there, and the look-alike got assassinated, and so much the better. Then it wasn't him, right? So anyhow, the Prince and the Pauper is a story that has to do with these two youngsters that trade places, where one of them's a rich kid as a prince and the other one's the poor kid, and they trade places, and it's just like one of the birds, the country mouse and the city mouse, goes back to Aesop's fables about the differences between the two, the rich and the poor, right? And we see that played out in culture, where in the Leonardo DiCaprio movie Titanic, it shows the people in spirits just having a great old time because they're drinking beer and they're dancing and singing, and they're doing their own thing, even though they're the poor folk, right? And compared to the fuddy duddies and the stuffed shirts in the first class, right? So anyhow, the difference in the approaches to rich and poor in life are many stories, but basically, poor people have to deal with suffering because it's oppression, and the rich people have to deal with suffering because they've got their own versions of oppression, and then they've got their own versions just being completely out of the understanding of the human condition. We're missing it. Okay, so anyhow, we've got this legal system, right?
Yeah.
And in order for a person to present an argument in front of a court in our system, they have to be an attorney and a member of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're representing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're representing yourself, you don't have to be an attorney. And if you're representing yourself, you don't have to be a member of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be representing yourself, and you can't represent other people unless you're a member of the bar. And so other people could be that thing that people like to kick around, corporate personhood. And there's a case about Lloyd Marbet called State versus Marbet, M-A-R-B-E-T, that talks about trespassing, where Lloyd wanted to represent the interests of a citizen group, I'll call it, that wanted to testify at a Public Utilities Commission hearing to represent the interests, and the person in the hearing said he couldn't do that because he couldn't represent them without being a member of the bar under those particular circumstances, and then there was disagreement about that. So anyhow, the only way you can get to court is if you got an attorney, unless it's your case about your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Call a filter. That's a gatekeeping thing, right? Because maybe your attorney can't take the case, doesn't have the skill set, won't take the case, doesn't want to have a conflict of interest, goes to the same church with the person that's the person you're suing, or whatever, right? So in order for there to be access to the courts, there has to be some way to either get an attorney or what? That's me pro se. Okay, so anyhow, what do we know about four books? We know that 10 people that are of what we'll just call modest means, out of 10 of them that have a valid case, one of them can get an attorney. So if you or I, or my neighbors down the road here, if we have 10 of us that all have a plain land on our house, one of us will be able to get an attorney. Right? That's ridiculous to think that and maybe the plane landing on your house is a bad example because there might be some federal insurance that covers that, or something I saw. I saw something on the form that I filled out today that said something about aviation. So there's some federal, you can sue in federal court about that apparently. So anyhow, my point is that the poor people can't get attorneys. And poor people that have valid cases can't go to court because they can't get attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have so much injustice in our society.
Yeah, totally.
Because we're going to say we're going to be a society of man ruled by law, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so we have these laws, but when people violate the civil rights of other people, people violate the civil code, the tort claims, and whatever rights are violated due to social standards.
Right.
We say this is how we're going to settle our disputes. We're not going to get out our broadswords and hack it out down at Pioneer Square today. We're going to go a couple blocks away to the courthouse, and we're going to settle this equitably before a fact finder and somebody that's going to screen the law, make sure the appropriate law is being applied, and we're going to have this settled in a rational and judicious way. And no, we're not, because you can't get to court unless you have an attorney. Right? So you can get to court. Mm-hmm. An attorney to represent yourself, and that's what Joe Walsh did.
Oh, yeah, Joe Walsh. Just thinking of him.
Right? So that's
Totally.
I don't want to. I want to talk about pipe dreams.
Yeah.
I want to talk about concrete examples that people can see that man who was your friend and my friend, we know personally, but everybody can say now that he was our friend because he did what he did and what I'm talking about.
He was a true amicus curiae. I don't know if you can say that. He was a true friend of the court.
Yeah, so here's what happens, right? I did a lot of research, and I got a couple of great tips in libraries. The best place to get a tip is in the library, as far as I'm concerned. Somebody says, "Hey, try down there," right? And how about over here? Did you ever think of these? But when that happens in the library, man, you're not talking about opening books. You're talking about opening whole concepts, right? We think about the Dewey Decimal System, that's neither here nor there. We think about the Dewey Decimal System. We get this one section over here that's about gardening, and we get this other section over here that's about religion. And if you don't know that there's, either, right? And somebody says, "Hey, did you ever try this other thing over here? I'll put this other thing over here," right? And then maybe you find out that as a gardener that it's really contemplative, and you understand why it was so important to religion, or why farmers were so involved in having faith that God was going to help them get their crops in. But to give somebody an idea in the library, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is to give somebody an idea that they can go, "Oh, I never thought of that."
Yeah.
We never did. And that's wonderful. Because you got this far. And how much further can you get now that you know that this is something that you can think about? And now think about it, you can think about it in different ways. And it's not the only thing that works for. Okay, so I kind of get this request, I'll call it, if you're not doing anything. It turned out that there was a hearing in Salem, and it was about funding law libraries. And this was 10 years ago in 2010. And I went down to the hearing, and when I got into the room, on my arrival, the person was testifying that the pro se litigants take up all the court's time because they don't know the rules, and they don't know how to get things done, and they take up more time than it takes more time to process their case. And then, lucky for me, I arrived on time enough to hear that, and was able to say what I just said, and I'll say it again. Out of the persons of modest means, out of every 10 that have a valid case, only 9 of them, only 1 out of 10, 9 of them can't get an attorney. So they don't have access to the court unless they represent themselves. So we have to give people the skill set to represent themselves in court so that we get enough people doing stuff like what Joe Walsh did, that you can actually now, may he rest in peace, watch him on the YouTube that Joe or anybody shot. That he was talking about real time in December of 2015, talking about how he had gone in front of Judge Simon, Judge Michael Simon, the U.S. District of Oregon in Portland, and they had kept the attorneys out of it.
Right.
The attorneys were all on the city side, representing the city, of course. The city employees, contract employees, the attorneys working for the city of Portland, they were there, but Joe Walsh was representing himself. And we really needed to keep the attorneys out of this because they were out of it the whole time.
Anyway. Yeah, no, that's the beauty. That it really is. I've got okay, yeah. You do the talking, Barry. Though you're in charge.
Okay, so I'm going to do my own horn here.
Okay.
I did court support, and this had to be after I got out in February of 2016 from being when Joe was talking up at City Hall in December of 2015 about Judge Simon making a decision. I was across the park in the Justice Center jail after my arrest at City Hall. So I got out after 11 weeks. I got out in February of 2016, and I was doing court support shortly after that because this was fresh enough that they were passing around a copy of Judge Simon's opinion.
Aww.
And somebody says, "What's that?"
Mm-hmm.
And Joe says, "Oh, it took Judge Simon 26 pages to say Barry Joe was right."
26 pages. Judge Simon said that.
So Joe and I both knew, and you did too, Mary. We all knew that they were acting so illegally in the way that they were shutting us down.
Oh yeah, it was like not even America. It was like, whoa, let's abandon every single semblance of faking our way through the principles. Yeah.
Right. So there was no question.
Do you know? Okay, Barry. Here's an idea. I'm just breaking in. What if we have someone write a paper or do a film or something about how that little wave of like the early teens, like say maybe 2013 or 2010 through 2016, represented a wave of activism in Portland, and how the deliberate oppression of that first wave led to the counter reaction of the more intense riot culture, where all of us old fogies who were like kicked out and brutalized and all of that, we're just like, nah, man, we had it. Like, we get it. You're fascist. But these little kids that are out there burning the place down, my theory is that from a national security perspective, the people like Charlie Hales, who ran the city to the ground, they take responsibility for the current state of riots and the disheveled state of Portland and the lack of law and order, because they're deliberate refusing to hear peaceful, nonviolent hippies, good citizens, grandmas, whoever. They just were so degrading to us, just always trying to railroad us. And in a way, I mean, I don't support the violence of the riot, but I kind of feel like, well, if you weren't focused on listening to your citizens and your constituents, you're creating a cauldron of boiling hot tension, and it's all coming to the surface now. And I'd love to have someone tie that together, because I think that's kind of a story, or maybe that's just a tweet. Maybe that's one tweet.
Well, here's what I've done with success with my own self, Mary, and what I would inspire anybody else to do. When you go to school, when you're going to school, getting your secondary education, even your high school education, there are requirements that you have to get as a student. And something that you're interested in could be worked into one of your subjects. And so a term paper for Portland Community College writing 121 or whatever it is, where you have to do a research.
Right.
That's what you're talking.
Okay.
Somebody's going to do that for their class, right? And so you can spark them.
Mm-hmm.
You can spark with encourage you. Just saying that you would like to see it, or point out that's a relationship that any points, any 2 points that is. Anything that I've said so far. Okay, so I don't want to get too far off track because I did want to talk about the informa pauperis. And so anyhow, we've got the situation, right? Say we're having just society. Not a bad idea. And we've got the court system instead of having broadswords at Pioneer Courthouse Square, as I said, and it's fundamentally flawed because people that break the rules don't get busted for breaking the rules. I'm not talking about the criminal system, which is where people get sent to prison, right? They're sent to jail. I'm talking about the civil, where somebody violates your rights as under the code of our societal ethics. For example, somebody might commit a crime of assault, and then there might be a corresponding civil action. How about this one? O.J. Simpson is famous. It wasn't a murder, because murder is the legal term, and the jury didn't convict him of murder. So, but there was a trial that it was a different standard, a different burden of truth, and all that kind of stuff that you don't know about. That's too bad. I just told you that. Go look it up. There's libraries for that kind of stuff. Anyhow, the civil was for the family bringing action for wrongful death and their loss of the companionship of Nicole Simpson, who was the victim of the killing. Okay, there was certainly a killing, all right? So guys gets into words. Like there was a killing. Whether that killing was a murder is different, and so I get my Indian up, whatever part of that's my genetic material. I get my when I hear people talking about how the cops murdered this person when they did kill them. They shot them 17 times or something like that. But that doesn't mean it was murder. It could be worse than murder. Right? I'm not saying that to use murder is too strong of a word. Maybe murder isn't a strong enough word. Don't get me wrong because of what you're thinking I'm saying. You get to think about this. These words have defined meanings in the dictionary and in the law, and when you start applying the word murder to the fact that a bunch of cops blasted a kid on the sidewalk, it wasn't murder unless they said, hey, let's go blast this kid on the sidewalk.
You're going back, because they're historic. Okay, so what do you want to call it? Manslaughter?
It's genocide.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a genocide, and it's killing out a culture as much, and it made more, a culture of ideas rather than actual flesh and blood of the genetics. There's some marrying. There's some shit going on inside of me right now, and I don't know what the hell it is.
Is it fit for YouTube live stream? I mean, you're always fit for YouTube live stream. Your conversations are pretty interesting.
No, I'm talking about genetic. I'm not talking about white supremacy. I'm trying to divorce.
You're trying to connect with your Native American spirit. Is that what I'm feeling? Yeah.
I'm trying to divorce myself this conversation, myself as a
you're getting a divorce.
Right now it's you and me, and if anybody else ever sees this, that's up to them. The point I'm saying is, I'm trying to separate myself in your view of me from the concept that what I'm saying is what other people are saying when they talk about the things that I'm talking about. Right? You can't. I'm talking about the genocide. Trying to eliminate.
I use that word too. I mean, variously.
Whether those ideas are tied to my physical blood and bone.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
Now, my cultural bloodstream or my physical bloodstream or both, nature or nurture.
I see.
Okay, so anyhow, I am not a white supremacist. But I do know that I've got some shit going on that other people don't. And that's a curse. I might try that sometimes to be in a room full of idiots, where just because you've got a higher, now the way it tests on the test, right? It's IQ is the word we throw around. You got a higher IQ than everybody else. You go in the room, you're in a room full of idiots.
Yeah.
It's hard to communicate. It's hard to express concepts.
Yeah.
Right, and so that plays out. So, but anyhow, I am cursed and blessed with a permanent kick in the ass because I have my disease called central pain syndrome.
Yeah.
And I try to have it rather than it having me. And it's tied to emotions. And so I actually, it was somewhere where somebody had interviewed me, and it was some comment that I made in response to their interrogation or interviewing that taking it back is a healing process for me. So today, I filed an application to proceed in forma pauperis.
I'm so proud of you. Way to go.
Right? Because you said so. And why did I follow your advice? Because it's not up to me to determine just because I have the money whether I don't qualify for having the status of being relieved of paying the $400 filing fee. And so my chore today was to go to court, which we now do on the internet, and which I had done physically. So I already had the court forms, and I filled out a form that is called Application to Proceed in Forma Pauperis, and it has blanks that you fill in for the name of the plaintiff and the name of the defendant. And then it's got the first question they really want to know is if you're currently incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Oh, right.
in school.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting quality of the form that when a person goes through these processes is it's like it's set up for failure. They've got this document that somebody, work process, so I say, somebody set up, did a template. And they've got boxes that you just, fill in the box or check the box, yes, no. And they've got question number 2, are you currently employed? And it has a box, and then it has a space, and then it has the word yes. And then it has a very, very small space, and it has another box, and then it has a same size, larger space.
Okay.
And then it has no.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has a large space, and then it has a square and a small space, and it says self-employed.
Oh my God, are you so proud of yourself? Is that what you called me earlier? You were like, proud of yourself. Oh.
So they've got this form set up with the checkbox for no right next to the S for the letter yes. So it's really easy when you're filling out these forms for you to check the wrong box because they didn't really set the form up in a user-friendly way.
Yeah.
So getting past all that, what they want to know is, they want to know, first of all, if I was currently incarcerated.
Okay. Not.
If yes,
Okay.
facing incarceration.
Okay.
Right? Number 2, are you currently employed? Yes, no, self-employed. Yes. The employer's name, address, the take-home pay. Moving on to page 2. Put your no, state the name of your last employer, and the address of the last employer, and the date of last employment, and the amount of take-home calculated or wages. Now, I put Social Security SSI since 2013. I think 7 years of being on Social Security disability. I think that kind of puts your previous employer out of the question of really needing an answer. So I was getting loosey-goosey with the form at this point when I was filling it out because like my previous employer, I mean, that's a long story. All right. Then it wants to know, number 3, is my spouse employed? I have no spouse, so that was not applicable. But if I had one, they want to know if my spouse could pay the filing fee. And then number 4 was the last 12 months have you received any money from any of the following sources?
Okay.
This profession or other self-employment? For me, no. If yes, they want to know how much. Rent payments, interest, or dividends? For me, no. I guess for some people, they might have some stocks or something that they're getting dividends, but
right.
I don't know if that would get them to be poor enough.
Right, it could be like so little it's nothing, yeah.
Pensions, annuities, or life insurance payments? Right? No. Yes. How much? All this they want to know. Amount received. Am I right? And then we get to like a small letter T here on
Mm-hmm.
For disability or workman's compensation payments,
Mm-hmm.
that amount received, and I just got my letter that says it's going up from $783 per month to $794 per month on January 2021. So they will just simply put that in. Is it gifts or inheritances on letter E? No.
Mm-hmm.
Any other sources? And I checked no, and I didn't realize until today that what about that $1,000 that they gave me for the stimulus?
Bro, that doesn't really count. That's sort of like an inheritance. That's a windfall. It's a one-time. Yeah, I don't know. Did you need to put it in the form? Is that what you're thinking, or did you, or did? I think it wouldn't matter either way.
For your perjury, right?
No, you're not committing perjury. It like.
Okay, so
Yeah.
You want to know how much money I've got in my cash and checking accounts and that.
Yeah.
And if I own any real estate, stocks, bonds, securities,
Right.
Then if I have any other assets, right? They want to know if I have other assets.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. No, because I really don't. Okay, and then it says, do you have any housing, transportation, utilities, or loan payments, or any other regularly monthly expenses? Yes or no? And I said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right. They provide the amount of the monthly expense. And I said in 2020, my checks to PGE for light, heat, water, heating, and cooking totaled $1,165.49, or average of $97.15 per month.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Over the year. Now the furnace is on, right? So anyhow, that's the kind of stuff that they want to know. And I pay my landlord, and I just said that I pay around $40 per month, because I really pay around $40 per month, and I don't know how I could. Here's a form that has lines on it, it's fill in the blank.
Right.
And here's notice, and you'll be able to see this on your copy if you ever want to look at it. Around ARONNC. You know why I spelled around ARONNC, Dr. Professor A?
Why you spell it like how?
Because I put the U upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have central pain syndrome and dysesthesia, and that's the kind of stuff that happens when I fill out a form.
Makes sense.
That's the missing S. This is my missing S.
Mm. Yeah.
Upside down U.
Wow, there it is. So, how do we work around that problem?
Oh, my problem?
Well, I mean, or a problem like that, a similar problem.
Well, mine is to have a really good attitude about not really being too uptight about this work. Okay, so here's where I get to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have debts or financial obligations? Yes.
Oh yeah.
I have this letter on the top of the stack. So I got it out because I write on the outside of the envelope. And it says, on June 4th, 2018, the Oregon Department of Revenue sent me a letter in an effort to collect agency debt. The total was $2,305.85 owed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying that, yeah, I get this Social Security monthly check, whatever, but I owe the state of Oregon a couple of grand that they want me to pay, right? So it's like, do I have a debt? Yes.
Yeah.
Am I going to pay it? Am I going to pay it?
Yeah.
No. Like later.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because it's the Oregon Judicial Department, and it does all this screwball stuff where they've been just lying and cheating the whole time, and that's why I've got this case in federal court that I filed today.
Uh-huh.
So, the went up from $400 to $402
Mm-hmm.
or to file an application to proceed in form of pauperis. And I did the application to proceed in form of pauperis, and if it's denied, I'll have to pay the $400.
Mm-hmm.
That's my deadline. And I didn't have to pay the $400.
Cool.
So I still have the
So, Barry, I'm going to check in the live stream and see how I look. I've been on a little copy-paste blitz there. So now I'm taking a break and having some chocolate. So the point of this, if we're summing it up, if anyone is so bored they're watching this, is we found this. What website did we find this on? Was this Federal Rules of Civil Procedure? Or the feds are more organized than the crazy county and state courts. It's like they have a place where you can get your forms, and it's like clear and it's organized. But I forgot what the website was.
Right. It's the United States District Court for the District of Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
They have Portland, Eugene, Medford, Pendleton. Well, Portland, if you're in Portland like I am. And the forms are on information, and they have it's just a matter of clicking through to the forms, and they actually have the form that I filled out. I picked it up in paper at the courthouse when I was down there, and I happened to have a reserve. It's just in case of a COVID emergency, right? Which happened to happen. So lucky for me. So anyhow, then what I did was I took my prepared documents down to the FedEx office, and I jumped on one of their copy machines and turned my paper copies into PDFs on my flash drive that I took with me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I took my drive over to one of their rental computers, and I got on the rental computer and I logged on and I transferred the PDF from the flash drive, emailed it to the court, and by the time I got back from doing that, I'd gotten email saying from the court clerk that it had been docketed in my court case file. So by the time I got home from the place where I emailed it from, just blocks away from here, it was already done. So I got my confirmation that those documents are in.
Wow.
So I met my deadline.
You e-filed your Informa Pauperis.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah.
Because we have the rules. Okay, so anyhow, here's what you get if you get that status. You get the marshal serving the summonses. All the process serving from the person that's in form of office is done by the United States Marshal. So if they bring me that status, it's not the $400 that's supposed to be. It's because I have to go to the trouble to track these people down and do the summons and all like that there, because that's all done by the United States Marshal. So what would happen is the Marshal would contact me and have me fill out my version of the forms that they would need further information on. And then I would give them those, and they would do their thing. And I've done that. I've gotten Informa Pauperis status, Mary King, in a February federal case, and that case is Barry Joe Stull versus Join, Join, and that was this decade. And they changed something, but I don't know what yet. What happened in that case was contacted by an attorney that the court assigned to represent me.
Have you heard of I'm sorry.
Because of my having a status, right? Okay, so the real question, the question that you and I are asking, right, and it is how do we define financial what we used to call fixed income, right? Fixed income is the euphemism for granny's poor as hell. She didn't get food the last 10 days of the month, right? Right? It's a euphemism. Fixed income for people that are, Social Security or whatever, right? It means they're poor, right? So how poor do I have to be to qualify for release from the financial burdens of accessing the courts? That's the question we're asking, and we don't know the answer. But the question was asked by me clicking the mouse and sending the email today. So that'll go through their processes, and in the meantime, as that is under advisement. That's what you would call that. That application is under advisement. They're considering it right now. So it's under advisement. And meanwhile, life goes on, and I still have to meet my deadlines if I have them, and I still have to go through other processes if I have them. But the application for forma pauperis is this. Understanding if you have a reason to think you've been wrong, you want to stop, you want to maybe not be the first one, but be the last one. If you want to stop some kind of societal abuse, or maybe one-shot deal if you want to stop it, and you feel that you should litigate, and you try to get an attorney, and you can't, take the law into your own hands, represent yourself, pro, litigant, 2 words, PRO, and if you can't afford the filing fees, ask for a fee waiver, and there's various processes to do that. It usually has you giving them information so they can decide how you their charts and graphs or whatever somebody set up as decision-making filter. I have no idea. I qualify for public defender in criminal charges because I've got pending cases in Multnomah County Circuit Court. But what I want to do with this case today is what I did with the case Stull versus Join, is I want to get people around the table and drink coffee and eat peppermint patties and decide what we can do so we don't have to do this anymore. Well, there you go.
Wow. I'm really proud. That's excellent. So now what I'm looking for in my friend's other cases, he wants to do a motion to dismiss. He wants it specifically for petty. He's being prosecuted for being hit by a car. it seems like if any prosecutor worth their weight, once they see how stupid his case is, will clear the docket. But in the meantime, he wants to fight a good fight. He knows it's miserable, but he sent me like the only motion to dismiss he could find was in Lane County, and it was a dissolution of a marriage. And I know how hard it is to be trying to find things on a little smartphone. And then I try to go on my good computer, and I'm like, I can't find it either. And I'm just not familiar with where the best way to find all those forms are. But I want to help him. I want to help him if it's like easy peasy. And then I can already see the difficulty is that we need like a database of proper forms and files. And what was available in the Clatsop County, like a lot of common forms, it didn't seem to have something specifically motion to dismiss. And I don't know if you have a recommendation of where to get a decent motion to dismiss. He wants to dismiss for lack of a speedy trial. He wants to have a venue change. I think he'd be happier with a better judge.
Well, here's what I can not give legal advice about.
Okay, what you cannot give legal advice as a jailhouse lawyer.
I can always represent myself and lose, right? That's the deal. It's I can go in front of the judge that says, okay, this is a felony, you can do this, but you can get years in prison or whatever I'm facing right now for my attack on vacant affordable housing over there. But anyhow, always represent yourself and lose, but how much do you want to fight them?
Fight what?
Like the speedy trial and trying to get another judge and all these kind of where if you're just right.
He's right. Yeah, he doesn't even need to. Right. No. You're saying he could win on the merits.
Hang on. Listen to what I'm trying to say here. Just what I have to do, I don't have a choice in it. And I'm not saying that anybody has a choice. I don't know how anybody has a choice in it, right? Is I have never taken a plea offer because I've never had one that I thought was acceptable to take. And my crimes are not crimes. There's stuff I've been passionate about. But, no, I'm not a guy out to hurt people and physically taking people's stuff or stealing, robbing, or mugging, or, and, whatever, right? In spite of my incident with Todd Engstrom.
Oh no, I think I'm trying to install software and I don't know if I can do that while I'm live streaming because I might need to shut down and restart. But that's okay because I don't even have to do that right this second. I don't even know why I'm doing it other than chitter chatter.
So I this calendar year, I think, blew my stack, and because it was Judge Ryan, and as long as a judge hasn't made a decision in a case in Oregon, you can bump them. If you feel that you can't get a fair hearing in front of a judge, you can fire the judge. But if they've already made a decision in the case, you can't. Or I can't. I should reach for that. I can. Because I can't say anything about you because I'm not a member of the bar. I can't give legal advice. So, but the whole thing I think about is a speedy trial. I already shared with you this past month when we were talking about how the case that cites 2020 was about the guy that didn't get his speedy trial, and it talks about the rationale giving them trial. But what I want folks to do, me included, or me especially, is I want people to know what the hell they're talking about before they start talking about it. And, to know what machines they're starting up before they start up the machine. To know how to drive before they hit the highway. And the name of the game when we were coming up through the 80s and dealing with all the problems with the drugs of all types and the harm reduction, we have to say to the kids, don't sniff gasoline. But if you're going to sniff gasoline, ever sniff no lead, because the leaded gasoline has lead in it, and the lead is really bad for your health. So number one, don't sniff gasoline.
Seriously, yes, very good. Very good.
Well, now we don't have leaded gasoline at the pumps anymore because it is so toxic, except for Liberia. Or maybe it's Algeria. There's some places in Liberia or Algeria you can buy leaded gasoline on the planet. That's about it. So anyhow, that's called harm reduction. It's the same as having needle exchange, right? So I want to have harm reduction for people that are themselves in the criminal justice system, which is the criminal injustice system. So part of the injustice is that you're in it and you're going through it. And what I want people to get away from is self-harm and trying to fight battles that don't need to be fought because you're going to win anyhow. You're going to win anyhow because they're completely wrong. Win. Don't fight about the don't like the judge. Don't fight about it. Don't like the timing. Just wait until they say the time is right, and by that time, be so profoundly, perfectly ready. Because you know everything about the facts. Who the hell lived on that block? Who was there? Where's the bus stop? What was the weather that day? You know what people care about? They care about what happened. You know what people care about? They don't care about the fringe on the flag in the courthouse. They don't care about you're unhappy that you've been waiting a year for your next court appearance. They don't care about that. People are living their lives, trying to go to work, trying to go home, trying to get their surgeries, trying to bounce grandkids on their knees because they didn't get that thing shot off in the war or lose it in the middle. That's what people really care about. And they're passionate. They think they're social justice activists because they're trying to invent novel legal theories and novel legal approaches. Whereas they're really spending a lot of the wrong kind of energy for the goal. And the goal is to get the hell out of whatever you're in. It's not to get in it more. To get out of it. Right? So these things that I'm talking about, this is your, I'll just say contact rather than say friend or client or associate.
Contact.
Your contact. Right?
Yeah, my contact. I'm just contacting them on a street corner. Yeah, the contacts.
Your contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, my contact today was not the person that I walked past down here in the corner. Wasn't the person in the store I didn't go in, right? Wasn't anybody in the store that I went in to use the ATM that did 7-Eleven, except for a guy that was kind of waiting in line for me to use it, and they kind of did the social distancing thing, right? So those people really weren't contact. But then when I got down to the FedEx office with Chico, when I got down to there was a guy that was working at the counter, and he'd done some service to me before, and I went up and I talked to him, and he said, "Do it on the sheet yourself, buddy." Basically, we got our own troubles, Max, right? So he said, I just like Max at that point. Now, how emotionally invested we are in each other is yet to be determined, right? But I had to let him know that my feelings weren't hurt, and that I was on his side, and I was glad he had plenty of work to do to get back to it. It's not on my account, right? I'll be fine without you, right? So anyhow, this person is your contact. I really want what I said is the big questions need to be answered about this particular event. As if you were putting it all on a poster before it happened. Right? Walking down the street, there's a poster for the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With Josh Bland Innersteel playing historic Flemish harpsichord. Well, you want to go to that, right? Because you know when it is, where it is, what it's about, why it's happening.
Barry, I hate to tell you, I'm having some things coming up. I got to download the software. I got people sleeping. I better shut down early tonight. But Barry, we've done a good job. We've done Informa Pauperis. It was I don't think it was the most boring video stream that ever existed. But I've got some pressure on me from the next project right now. But I love you. I love you, Barry. And I love your boisterousness. And we can do many, 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 many more. Let's just Google index Barry Joe Stull to the nth degree with as many live streams as you can handle. But if you figure out that motion to dismiss problem, I would like to hear back.
I gave you the answer to that.
Well, I probably wasn't listening.
The answer is it's not going to happen. You're not going to. I didn't get my case dismissed. I didn't get my case
I know. I think it's more like the motion to dismiss is like a carnation in your lapel. It's like it makes you feel more fancy when you go into the court.
Mary, let me be the nicest guy ever, right?
Okay.
If this is going on the record, and I have to treat it that way. I'm sorry. I was in such sport where he reprimanded me for giving legal advice not being a member of the bar because I was telling a gal I was coaching her because of what she had coming ahead of her. Right? So anyhow, they know who I am. They certainly know who. So I have to find my own piece of juice. So I'm going to state this. I had the City Hall case, right? Which was first on appeal by the Court of Appeal. But it was reversed on appeal by the Court of Appeal because the circumstances could have kept the jury from finding me not guilty when I had an offense. See, I could have been found not guilty by the jury. The decision to throw out my conviction was based on there were errors made by the prosecution with the court's authority that waited on the jury-making process. And that jury-making process I had the defenses because this happened. I had the defense because the other happened. I had defenses to those charges. Okay, that case was thrown out on appeal because of the errors.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that going in front of the jury, it went in front of Judge Stephen Bouchon on an hours-long hearing for a motion to dismiss.
Mm-hmm.
Included everything that we knew by then, which was that Joe Walsh had proven that the trespass exclusion policy that they were trying to enforce on me at City Hall was unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a passing thing based on an unconstitutional, law, right? So he knew all that, and he could not dismiss my case. That's why it went in front of a jury. Then it goes in front of the jury, then it goes to Court of Appeals, and it comes back to Multnomah County Court, and it goes in front of another judge with that, what was it? 50 pages, motion to dismiss? What was this calendar year? And it was not dismissed. So if you want anybody ever know how to file a motion to dismiss, you give them that motion to dismiss that I filed. And you say, read this. And if you can't read this, you don't even need to start thinking about doing it. Because this guy's done it twice. And he's lost twice. Don't think about a motion to dismiss. You're just pissing me off.
Okay. So you're just saying, just tell him, thank you, Barry. No, that might be the even more valuable. So just tell him, don't waste your time with it. Move straight forward, cut to the chase, and win your case. Is that right?
It's barking. And it's barking up the wrong tree.
Barking up the wrong tree. Okay.
Wait. No. It's barking.
Oh, damn. I got to take this, Barry. This is wild.
Okay.
Hey.
No.
I've got a live stream going that I've been online with Barry Joe Stull. Isn't that funny? You want to just pick?
I've heard the name.
Barry Joe Stull. Yeah. No, but I don't know. I guess he's on hold. What should I do? I was trying to get off the line with him. No, I just put just a link to your stuff in my blog just for no reason other than to make it index a little.
Cool. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt what you're doing. I just wanted to say, hey, do you want to interview Daryl sometime?
Do I want to what? Well, so you're live on YouTube is what I'm telling you. Like, I have not shut down the live stream. You're live. I mean, you're live on speakerphone on YouTube. And
hey, what's up, motherfucker?
I know, right? I know. Do you want to like identify yourself? No, Barry's gonna be like, how do you object? But also I'm trying to quiet it down here a little bit. It's a little wild.
Yeah, just totally on the spot and random, but my name is Optimus Prime. Not really though. I'm one of Mary's friends, and we're kind of documenting a lot of issues in the state of Oregon. They're also connected to geopolitical sex trafficking.
You know what I did is when I was just figuring out what to put in, like, basically I like trying to make things index. Like I sort of like a spam indexing style of blogging, which Blogger is kind of a gross format, but it's very long lasting and free. But so far, like I put the WAPO obits, the Washington Post obituaries of your grandpa and your great grandpa, connecting them to you, because I felt like anybody who's looking for you might. It's just kind of an interesting story, because I think I'm into family history. I think it's kind of cool.
I appreciate that. My own uncle is the ambassador to Ecuador. By the way, Uncle Mike, if you're listening, well, you, I'm going to have a march on the Ecuadorian embassy. Yeah, that'll be funny.
Well, we can't.
Trying to suppress my own lineage from me, and I'm like, no.
No, and I forgot about that guy, so I need to look him up again. No. That's what. I'll just throw him in. You've given me something to annotate. But listen, I'm probably going on. I think I'm on like 14 hours of just sheer madness. Like Twitter is broken out with a craziness. Somebody's telling me to get on some private chat thing, and I'm not sure I will. This major internet adversary that I told you about is basically going underwater because he can't take the heat. He's been bullying a bunch of people for a long time, and his number is up. So there's sort of like a concerted attack, and then basically I've been sort of doing internet research all day long and like sending things around, talking to random people. You know how the internet is. It's just like crazy all the time. So what's that Ecuador dude's name? I forgot. Or it's Ecuador ambassador. Is that right?
Ambassador.
Yeah.
For Ecuador, one of the most decorated U.S. State Department.
No, so I kind of meant to have Barry Joe Stull and shall I identify you? Is it okay? Can I identify you? Like full name? I feel like I sprung this on you with like no planning. No. It's Patrick Stupful. This would be our third phone call, other than the drop signals. That doesn't count. So Ambassador Michael Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I'll just copy him in and link you to the embassy. No, but it's like everybody in your family has red hair. That's kind of cool. Am I right?
Oh, no, we got Black Irish on one side.
Right. I've got yeah. Let's see. I don't need to talk about myself. So I'm doing. God, it's almost like I don't even know where to begin. Where we left off. Oh, we left off with Bobby Bomar and what's his name? Robert Chris. Is it Christner? The bad guy. Yeah. Oh, I checked out your Instagram today. Your like expose video thing with Carol. How'd she like doing that? Did she like it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I actually rendered it with the Music 2 app because it worked when I had my headphones on.
Yeah.
But apparently people are like, I can't hear over the music because without headphones, it's wonky. But it went well. It was good. Carol actually just did an interview with Cole Rainey, and he's one of my good friends on the right wing because I work on like the John Wick Peace Hotel Lab, type motherfuckers on all sides, unifying against the pieces of shit. So Cole Rainey, he's representing the right wing, and he's taking out the country club Republicans. Like James
It was kind of hard for me to piece it all together. Oh, he just did. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we just did an interview. Carol just did an interview with Cole, and that's not up yet. I'm about to edit that.
Oh, neat. Fun. Yeah, cool. How'd you come up with the name Suit and Tie Skater Guy? Just kind of like easy and fun and youthful.
Funny story, actually. It's inspired by a Portland Tribune article. All these globalists who try to vet me and make good tokens. Ted Wheeler, Kate Brown, John Kisshofer, Sam Adams, Granddad J.J. Benny. All these people like kicking around like a soccer ball trying to fight over making me the protege and token. But they put my face on the side of buses, ad campaigns all over town. They have my life story in the news. The front page of the Portland Tribune. It's kind of weird. But in one of those articles, the headline was "From Curb to College to Congress," and it was about how like I had different felony flats and was a skater punk. This article came out in 2013 when I was working for the Granddad J.C. Penney state representative was Kenny Geyer. For you who don't know who she really is, the billionaire next door. But yeah, this article came out talking about a lot of the things I was doing. I was advising Sam Adams, pedophile mayor. I was working in Salem for founding of the Flint Global Initiative, state representatives. I was doing a shit ton of stuff in 2013, and I'm glad that I kind of downshifted, kind of burn myself out a little bit. But the article, you'll see Portland Tribune from Curb to College to Congress. At the very bottom of that article, it said something like, "Oh yeah, he's a skater punk with felony flats, but after military school, he learned how to put on a suit and tie, and he learned how to hone his energy, and rather than being a rebel, he's a rebel and a scholar now. So although he works in Salem and he's perfectly comfortable putting on a suit and tie, advising the mayors and the governors, he still skateboards to school when he takes off the suit." So I was like, skater guy. You can take me out of felony flats, but you can never take the skater punk out of me.
Right.
So that's the whole idea of my Instagram handle.
Oh, yeah. No, I like it. I don't know. Back in my hometown, where I grew up in Nashville, it was illegal to skateboard. So skating had like this very edgy subculture. It was like, if you skated, you were really cool and you were not a bad person. But it was always like skateboarding's not a crime. I guess that was a big American thing.
Still is. There's almost riots when they built that building next to Burnside skate park because
because
Yeah.
there were people threatening to burn down Charlie. Was it Charlie House? Whoever the mayor was when they were building
You kidding?
that.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, people were threatening to burn down the mayor's house because like they were.
I did not know that.
They were tinkering with the idea. Someone floated the trial balloon of a poll up of like, should we have a skate park next door to this new building? And like everybody like fucking riot the shit out of whoever said that because they're like, no, you will not take away the first anarchistically built skate park in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like Burnside skate park, iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so another story about Portland gentrification is when they built that nice, what do they call it, yard? The Star building, as I call it. When they were first writing the rendering plan, they were thinking about possibly tearing down Burnside, and people were like, hell no, skateboarding is not a crime. This whole city was built on anarchistic skate culture. Like, you're not going to gentrify a skate park that was in a Tony Hawk video game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess I'm kind of giving up. I was getting kind of wiped out because I was sort of trying to help a couple friends today, and I was caught in major intensity. But, well, it's, like being you're an artistic temperament, but like when you're making, you have your artistic visions and you don't know who's going to get it, who's not going to get it. But for me, I try to keep like art pure. Like I try to do it because it moves me and not think about money or who I'm impressing or, oh my gosh, there's just so much going on. And I've been getting behind, it's like I have my mixed, I've been seeing everything self-destructing. It always does with activists or with humans. And that it's almost like the dysfunction is just this nonstop soap opera. You could watch it for years. And I don't know. I think I maybe need to change a pace, like something more academic. I got the guts to retweet this girl. I've never retweeted her once in my life, but I just can't resist. She's a black activist who's making fun of Lars Larson, and she's outing, I think, Donovan Farley for dealing with Lars Larson in basically the standpoint of these, like, that I'm gathering from these, like, powerful black women is just like, don't take over my revolution. Don't co-opt my revolution. Don't say you represent me. Get out of my way. Like, don't make money off me. Don't exploit me. Don't hog the limelight. And like, wide... And I don't know. I'm just having a good time
People like that.
watching it happen.
People are asking you about that?
No. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I feel like that's where it's really.
Don't ever let someone tell you how to do your
No.
No,
but I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to show support, but I'm trying to do it in the right way.
Just met somebody who knows, hey, they can fuck off. Listen, I just reconnect with the sheriff. So whoever saw you, don't ever listen to someone tell you to take a backseat on the bus.
No.
Let me finish one point. Let me finish. I reconnected with a shot caller soldier of mine who he's a little wonky, but aren't we all though to a degree? So I had to like think about it from a 30,000 foot perspective. And I kind of made peace with somebody who's a little. All over the place, but aren't I too? He goes by the alias of PDX Rex. He's got a gold grill. He's 6'4". Big dude, looking like Abraham Lincoln. He's friends with a whole lot of people, like Paul Stanford, like Willie Nelson Sweet Grower, the founder of Hemp Stock and Hemp Fest. That's Paul Stanford. I believe it's Paul Stanford in Portland. He also is the founder of medical marijuana and a lot of those spikes in Portland. Paul Stanford has a good view and a bad view in some communities. At the end of the day, I'm still going to fuck with Paul Stanford because, well, he's Paul Stanford, Willie Nelson Sweet Grower, and he's the OG in the whole entire cannabis movement. Hemp Stock, Hemp Fest, that's his shit, Paul Stanford. So one of Paul's proteges, PDX Rex, or Evergreen Giant on Instagram, he's a little out there, mixed bag, but he's actually the realest motherfucker I've met, and he kind of pissed me off and we had a falling out over the summer. But at the same time, I thought about it and I said, wait a second. I piss people off too, and people say shit about me too. So I'm like, I should look at what he's done for me. This dude, PDX Rex, pounded on the front door of the Grand Auto JCPenney when nobody else wanted to even listen to the story of who a Lich Kenny guy the fuck is. This dude on the way to a black church, I was taking him to Pastor Manyweather's church. Remember, his granddaughters were on the Max train. Pastor Manyweather's granddaughters were the ones attacked by Jeremy Christian. So I'm like doing all these advocates, bringing all these people together and shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm showing this guy PDX Rex Alyssa's house on the way to this black church. And I'm like, not only are we going to go get past the Manyweather involved in this whole narrative, have him march all this town, but I want to show you where she lives, just so you know I ain't nuts. And there's the house. There's the name of the fake there. Alyssa's a real person. She has a real house. So we're cruising by her house in North Tabor. I'm like, yeah, that's her house. And we're like bumping Ice Cube, like hard shit. This guy like has a gold grill, and he's like friends with Paul Stanford. And he's also friends with Macklemore's producer, like the rapper Macklemore.
Oh, yeah.
We get out in Portland. So he's like, yeah, I know all these gangsters. And like, he's like a real G. He runs prisons and shit from the inside. So like, I'm like rolling around with this dude in this gangsta-ass smart car. He's got a gold grill. He's wearing like swag that shit. I'm like, he didn't want to get me a gold grill like that ass. I'm like, honestly, I love that and respect that, but I don't want your money, and I don't want a grill because I'm a social chameleon, and nobody will take me seriously if I have a grill, and I won't take myself seriously if I have a grill. No disrespect to you, though. Anyways, he drives up her driveway and pounds on the front door. I was like, bro, I thought I was going to show you where she lives. He's like, nah, I'm doing this now. Pounds on her front door, calls her the fuck out, says, we're coming for you and George Soros and all these motherfuckers. Anyways, that dude called out Alyssa for me. And nobody else wanted to listen to the goddamn stories. So I just made peace with him recently, like 2 days ago. And I got him connected with Carol. And now he's going to pound on Robbie Christian's front We go pound on Robbie Christian's front door. And hopefully with a crowd of people, not just by himself like he did with Alyssa's. Because it was good that he pounded on Alyssa's door, but I didn't plan on it. Like I told you. I was hoping just to show him that on the way to this church. He just made an executive decision without even my approval and jumped the gun and pounded on Alyssa's door. Now, if I would have had it my way, I would have had Louis Farrakhan, 2 Chainz, Snoop Dogg, fucking Elvita Scott King. Later, take a tiramisu fuckery. Who the hell you want here? We got him here. What's up? At your house, Alyssa. Because Black Lives Matter. And you know I shoot your mouth. Well, he just said, fuck it, let's do it now. So, in the grand scheme of things, he's now connected with Carol, and we're going to get him marching on some houses. And the reason I'm telling you this is because this man knows, because I know that you're connected with a lot of the current stuff in Portland. And you're probably like, why am I dog tangenting about this?
No, I'm a spectator.
Totally relates. And so I'm sure you're following Red House, right?
Yeah.
Did you know about the journalist who got bopped over the head? ATU, Genevieve Brown?
I saw bloody finger something.
Well, you're the one who told me about that.
I know it. I think it broke out the first night we talked or something. So we were sort of watching it in real time.
Told me about that. So she's not going to be able to walk down the street pretty soon.
Really? Wait. What do you mean? What's happening?
Telling everybody. Well, because I said so.
Oh, because she tried to film, or?
No. I mean, they didn't like that just in general. But as soon as people really hear the word of what she did, she tried to film and make everyone look like terrorists. But really, those people helped me when I was homeless. Right? And I'm a Clinton Global Initiative whistleblower. I'm a whistleblower on so many little fucking things, you know?
Right.
So when they took me in with James B. Cole didn't run shit this now. James B. Cole didn't help me out. I thought James B. Cole hates Democrats. I thought he hates the people who caused Benghazi, Hillary's emails, 13 hours, Benghazi. But dude, Lieutenant Guy caused Benghazi. Where the fuck he is? Not in front of his house like he should be. So I'm like, okay, at least conservatives didn't help me, a Benghazi whistleblower, Haiti whistleblower. However you want to package that about Alyssa Geyer, she should be the devil incarnate to the Republicans. But they didn't help me, but I was homeless, and Red House did. So,
well, guess what? I think since I...
Oh,
no, yeah. Okay.
And Genevieve goes to this thing and gets bopped over the head just because they don't like fake news. Trying to gaslight them and it's looking bad. But then I reached out to a bunch of generals and stuff from Red House, and I said, dox the fuck out of this woman. Do it because I said so. Do it. And I gave them all the screenshots. Not all of them. I gave them a screenshot of what Genevieve and I had talked about for 2 years. Genevieve, she covered up the fact that Ted Wheeler caused that Jeremy Christian stabbing. She covered up the fact that Alyssa Geyer literally runs the entire World Economic Forum because I have a text. It's a screenshot within a screenshot. I sent Genevieve a screenshot of my message between Alyssa. Hey, how would a guy go to Davos? And Alyssa's dumb enough to tell me exactly how a guy would go to Davos. You can't go because only the top 2,000 can. And, oh, by the way, I'm in that group. And by the way, if you're in that group, you got to pay $250,000 just to send 5 people. And by the way, me and Neil get to go free because we run the shit. Like, I could text her what to send to. I'm like, damn, son. And I sent that text to Genevieve. I'm like, just so you know who the fuck you're talking to, Genevieve. This text that you have, lady, you could run your entire station into the ground if they cover this up. You're talking to Seth Riddish 2.0. You're talking to Edward Snowden Square. You're talking to WikiLeaks if they wish they could be on that level. Like, they just leak emails and shit from cubicles. I'm the protege who got away. I know what to eat for breakfast, the stories about everything the family said. What do you need to know? I got you, fam. For Genevieve, this idiot shows up to the Red House thinking she's all gaslight people look like terrorists. If she really comes, excuse my language, I know you hate that word. I said, excuse me, you covered up the terrorist attack that Ted Willie caused. I gave her everything. Micah Fletcher's testimony, everything. And instead she comes to the Red House and tries to gaslight these people. So everybody at the Red House now knows that, like, the woman they bopped over the head, they just did it because they didn't like the fact they were showing up to the film crew. But now, it's like, oh, she better not even come around because we're now, like, knowing exactly what she could have covered, and instead she wants to come up to our house making us look like terrorists. It would have been a lot worse for her if they had known that before she showed up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even know that. I can only imagine what would have happened. Full stop there. You had a couple points up.
Oh, well, I'm having a wonderful realization that in blocked Twitter, which people are trying to get me off Twitter, but I'm still stuck on Twitter. The blocked Twitter copy, if I go into an incognito browser, copy the embed code of a blocked person's tweet where they've blocked me. When I copy paste the embed code into my blog, I can then see their tweet. And then today I've been looking at a thing that it's a really simple tool, but oh my God, it was so blowing my mind. Archive.today, I think, that there's the functionality of copying in anything. Like, I guess, okay, like here, maybe I could go into this lady I'm looking at her channel right now. I'm looking at Commie Scum. I'm kind of like researching this. I think I barely met her once. She kind of like chased me and acted pretty snarly at me. But there's like no reason for her to block me other than I'm an old boring person. But if I copy her into this, where was I? I'm over here at webpage archive. And then I think I add an asterisk, and I don't even know why the asterisk, or it's like a / asterisk. It says I'm number 1 in queue. So what I'm going to get is an archive from archive.today of tweets. And preserving tweets is important because we have like a very censorship-oriented problem going on with Twitter and infighting and blocking and people doxing and trying to get accounts deleted. So it appears that possibly it looks like it's my adversary who's now almost completely off Twitter has probably been archiving my tweets, which in a way it's kind of creepy, like an NSA surveillance thing, or it's like KGB or whatever. But it's also kind of nice. Like if you like your tweets, it could be just like a benefit. And so I was just checking out other people I know, seeing if anybody had archived them. I believe it's something you have to do manually, but I don't know. I don't know enough about it other than I frequently see it. Journalists use it for like to make their news stories be more impervious to deletions, because people will go in there and delete their tweets or delete the archive, and they want to create a hole in your story. So that's, I mean, just one little thing I've been thinking about today.
Angie just tried to do that to me. I'm like, y'all are dumb. You don't know what role play is?
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't. Right.
Yeah, John the Lefty, that burn victim weirdo.
Oh, do you know him? Yeah, I barely met him once.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Like, he almost got murdered like multiple times because I said so. Like, he literally tried to like come up to me like, oh, Archie, didn't you say like fucked up stuff? I'm like, yeah, I did. And like, there's like a lot of black people right behind me who want to kill you right now because you keep trying to gaslight me. So again, you don't know what roleplay is. Well, you don't know anything. You don't run shit with your mouth. And if you want to keep talking, like, there's some people
Right.
gaslighting us, because there's 5 different groups of people who hate each other who are behind me right now, and if I tell them what to do, so like, yeah, he's better not ever say or come around me, because he even knew about a Liz kind of guy here, but he decided instead to try to gaslight me on some bullshit. I'm like, dude, you don't know what role playing and infiltration is, and honestly, like I told you once, and you don't even deserve that clout. You don't even deserve that scoop. And the only scoop that you're gonna get is maybe your eyeball scoop.
Oh dear. So, oh dear. Yeah. I would. I would. Peace,
like,
hippie man.
He tried to show up to BLM Ribs as D'Anthony. Stood up to his face with a steel paddle.
Oh wow, a steel paddle. Do you want to tell the whole?
John Lefty is like insane enough to like actually try to like stand up to D'Anthony. I'm like,
do you know somebody named Tawasi Sos? I kind of hope not, but he's so obnoxious.
Who?
There's a guy named Tawasi. Tawasi had a meltdown around D'Anthony that was filmed that culminated with Tawasi getting punched in the face by somebody from the Sick Boys, which is some kind of like tough brawlers street gang, who were just basically Tawasi, being like just partly Native American, like you can't tell, is running around telling all the black guys, oh, he's saying the most racist, disgusting, offensive stuff, like you're just off of he's making slave ship metaphors. It's very offensive, and he acts like he's so righteous. He's being an anti-fascist when he's like racially abusing these black men, whether you disagree with how they do ribs or what their premise is or what their previous behavior was. His behavior was appalling, and he can't recognize just street disrespect, verbal abuse, blah blah blah. So that's how I don't know. I was just wondering if you knew about that, but you could tell the whole story of Riot Ribs and how it got, what got. You know John the Lefty, yeah. I just.
Oh yeah.
He hangs with Laura Jadid.
Come around because if he ever so much as says anything about me and I hear it, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it because like a lot of people, all different sides are saying there's a reason he got burned, and I know their secrets too because I have ears everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And he's an alcoholic. He's in the Alcoholics Anonymous community, and I know people who are in that community too, who know everything about him.
Right, I found his record. Yeah.
He's a little bit of a stupid idiot to think that he can talk to me with some disrespect. So, anyways, I wanted to say something I forgot to mention about the Red House. That's the reason why.
The Red House. Yeah. Back on that.
You're probably wondering everything about the Red House, right?
Yeah.
So, Felix Rex, the Evergreen Giant on Insta, the guy I've been telling you about, he's going to be helping Carol and I. And Cole, and he's going to help unify all these different people. He happens to say, oh, the Red House? That's not the Red House. That's my homie's house. He spends his games.
Wow.
So, like, we're going to get...
Oh, but do you know they're sovereign citizens? Have you seen all that? That was ripped.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so, like... Okay, listen. My friend goes onto Google Earth, zooms in, sees a flag on their porch. It's like SSK something. We look it up because it looks odd. It turns out to be the name of a tribe that they fought in court, basically voluminous litigation. And he's totally a sovereign citizen. And I don't think these leftist kids know that. Maybe somebody needs to tell them, because this is where the, like, it's almost, do you call a sovereign citizen extreme right? I don't really. It's
no, I call it intellectual consistency. And I call that joke because, like, if you're an anti-fascist, you should absolutely be a sovereign citizen. If you're a far-right person, you should absolutely be a sovereign citizen.
Well, okay, it's called Salish Skagit Quabakabs. Yeah, Salish Skagit Quabakabs Tribal Republic versus Bank of New York Mellon. It blew my mind, but it wasn't like that much. I was just like, oh, what an interesting twist. Yeah.
I was at the house, but I never met the Kinney's myself. Well, I met the mother of one of the younger kids, but I didn't know I was speaking to her.
Right.
I just thought she was a really cool person. And that's actually the best way to meet people because I don't get starstruck, and I don't like people who do get starstruck.
Right, exactly.
And I don't give a shit. I don't talk to anybody on God. Like, don't talk to granddaughter J.D. Benner like she ain't shit. Like, seriously. So, I had a good experience there, but I didn't go back to the Red House for the first time because I just knew there was a lot of weirdos that hang around there. Like, not good ones. Like, there's a lot of good people, but it's a publicity event. So there's a lot of people like John Lefty who might show up. And I thought to myself, if he shows up, he might get shot because people here are rock
And listen, hey, Patrick Stoffel, let me tell you, because of who I am and what kind of person I am, and what I know about surveillance and technology, I don't really. No, but I'm just also saying you're calling into my live stream without knowledge that I'm in on that live stream. So on my live stream, on my content, I try to keep the content very clean, kind of kid friendly.
Yeah,
I don't promote assassination or even threats or habitual kind of like.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying for the people who don't understand what that looks like or what that means, if you're watching the news as Ted Wheeler and you see all these like quote unquote terrorist acts, if you see that for months, and then you put yourself in a possible dangerous situation without that in the back of your head as a possibility, then you're clinically stupid.
Right.
So when I say that like I had a great experience at the Red House, I did, but I had this in the back of my head that if any crazy person, infiltrator, asshole shows up, trying to cause a scene with me or anyone else, I can do the math in my head that it's not probably going to end well because I just see so many things. I see trajectories. I've seen so many things happen. But I'm not an idiot. 1 + 1 = 2. So I had a great experience and I left. But I know that there's a lot of bad people that try to come around and cling on to the Red House narrative, including John Alessi. He's been gaslighting people on all sides for so long that I've spoken to people on all sides and say, if he shows up, please, So that's what I'm saying. Is like the Red House is actually a very good thing that's happening right now because if you really look at the narrative, they're sovereign citizens. They're actually putting their money where their mouth is, intellectually consistent with the issues. So when I say that, like, one of my friends is friends with them, this is good because I told the Red House and people at the Red House, I said, you guys should call the granddaughter J.C. Penney. She has more money than God, and she's pretending that she's a nobody. That's a lie. Her family ripped off Haiti and wrote the plan to rip off Haiti from inside Davos. Her family literally destroyed Libya, the richest black nation in Africa. But yet she wants to say Black Lives Matter like we don't.
Whoops. Well, I think my cell phone doesn't work that great. And I don't know if I should end this. Isn't Patrick interesting? Patrick Stoffel. Oh, there he is. All right. Hey, it might be the same problem we had. Could be like how it was when our call kept dropping. But hey, I can't even really talk much longer because I'm the late night, early bed going type of people living around here.
I just want to give you a point. There's something really important. Out of everything that I didn't even mean to call for a long time. I just wanted to tell you one thing. No,
it's cool.
So, all of these things I've been telling you for a while about Alyssa Kenny-Geyer and how she needs justice and people should be really marching in her house. Ted Wheeler's nothing compared to her. She could have saved, Alyssa Kenny-Geyer could have saved the Red House with her billions. But she didn't. She didn't offer any money. She didn't say that anything was even happening at the Red House. And so I told people at the Red House, you guys need to expose the granddaughter J.C. Penney who lives in North Tabor and ask for a donation because she has more money than God. That's the quote that her family says all the time despite spirituality. We got more money than God. Okay, why do you say Black Lives Matter but you don't help the Red House? What? That don't make no sense. So I told them that, but I couldn't get anybody to really march because, again, they were still trying to save the Red House. It didn't make a lot of sense to people. Why should we go somewhere else with a whole other battle, a whole other fight? It's like herding cats sometimes. But now that I got a friend who is friends with the Kennys, and he knocked on the granddaughter J.C. Penney's door already himself, on God, I think now that we can actually get real momentum to march on the real houses. The real billionaires should call all the shots. Again, Ted Wheeler is nothing in comparison. Geopolitical gangs were hiding in plain sight right here in Portland, wrote the plan to rip off Haiti, destroyed Libya, and so many other things. GMOs, what else do you want to know? I got it all. Through the lines of Alyssa Kenny-Geyer. So Alyssa Kenny-Geyer is a GD liar. And so now, with the Red House is being saved, and now that I've reconnected to a good friend of mine who knows the Kennys, my public ask for anybody who is caring about these issues is for the left, the right, all sides to look at Benghazi, to look at the ripping off of Haiti, to look at Libya, to look at GMOs in our food, to look at the broken healthcare system, to look at why is the granddad J.C. Penney saying Black Lives Matter, but she did all this evil globally and locally. So that's what I'm hoping is the narrative the Red House now switches into reparations. And the first people that need to give it are the people who are claiming Black Lives Matter, but are hiding in plain sight as billionaires. So that's what I went in my main point. Everything I say, my friend is now going to take that message directly to the kings. So.
Well, Patrick Stoffel, I'm kind of enjoying this live stream, even though I'm sort of distracted and multitasking. And my little friend's going to come pick up a piece of paperwork in a minute, so I'm looking out to the door. But it's kind of almost like I'm actually kind of like, I guess, like a filmaholic. I used to make so many movies, but they were always very unfinished and unedited and like just natural mostly. I mean, other than humans talking. But I don't do it as much anymore, but it kind of is, to me, just like fun to show the variety of human personalities out there and find a way to make meaning out of it, I guess.
Well, hey, I appreciate it, and the one thing I would appreciate the most is if you would like to do in the near future an interview with the
Carol?
man who made the atom bomb mission possible.
Oh, no, yeah, totally. So tell me more. Don't let me jump in.
About Carol stuff.
Oh, yeah. Huh, maybe there's some, oh, wow. Does she do all this stuff like Google Hangout or like things? I don't know.
That's even confusing for me.
I know, me too. And you know what I'm thinking? There's some people I know are working with these setups where they have these like, I think it's, my friend told me, I don't know, open something, but there's a software for having like a screen. It's a little too hi-fi for me because I just actually like getting into the person. Like, to me, that's actually why it would be so much more fun to have a team. And what I was envisioning is having like a call in where you talk with my friend, or we have some kind of open airing of grievances or talking or sharing information and knowledge, like a round table or something. And then also, but with Carol specifically, I feel like I would love to connect with her in a way that would help her story come out, kind of like with the sensitivity that, I guess it's girl bonding or women, the woman's touch, like the feeling that creating a safe space to make a product, but then have it be something that could be publicly available for other people to take.
You should do a Zoom call with Carol.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded Zoom yet. I think I was afraid of Zoom bombing. Did you hear about Zoom bombing?
I haven't.
It's something like, I don't think it's that big a deal, but it's some kind of, I don't know. I like a Google Hangout. Or it just like, I have very little needs for it actually, but I used to be a Skype person. Skype was fun in the day before it got kind of, I don't know if it's still ruined. It seemed ruined. It wouldn't let me. Well, I'm so exhausted. Listen, I've been kind of going all day. Like, I'm not usually up as early as I was today and had some stuff to do. But I like talking to you a lot, but I don't think I've got much more energy left in me.
I'm kind of tired. I only called just to say, hey, you should interview Carol.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We should hook that up. But does she want to do it for like public? Like on a YouTube, like a live stream?
I don't know about live. But
yeah, live or or hold it back because yeah. And if she does she have like a normal does she do laptop or like a desktop computer with a webcam? Does she have that webcam function to do like a face?
There's webcams available. I'm not sure exactly how. What technology though.
Well, like
we'll make this happen.
It would be fun.
Definitely, and I want you guys to maybe call each other sometime.
Just talk. Yeah, that would be awesome too. Yeah. Wow. No, I think you know a little bit more about what's going on. Today was a funny day. Did you see that Ted Wheeler took attribution for the what was it, like violent threats came the Kinney's way, and then Ted Wheeler basically blamed his own Twitter, which I thought was a little narcissistic. It's like, yeah, but it really.
I blew up his comment stream.
I mean, you did. I should look out for that. Right. Well, and I think I'm having my revenge for how much I've been laying low on Twitter. So now it's just like I'm sort of like making a mess, and I try to lay low and then I shoot my mouth off. It's like some. All right, your top tweet. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, by the way, tell your boy liking Super Climber to hit up his boy over here. I need his help. And he needs to help Carol.
If I run into him, right. He needs to help Carol.
Yeah,
See, I can't wait till we return to normal, if there ever was normal in Portland. But it would be so nice to have like a normal state of affairs where you could. Oh, see, what was the CCP party documents? You were talking about that today, weren't you? Like the party.
Oh, you saw that on Twitter? Yeah, I retweeted that.
Yeah, I just
So, I haven't even read those. I just retweeted it as soon as I saw them. But I should have read it. But I figured it's legit. I know that well, there's a lot of people colluding with the CCP in Oregon.
No, and I like what you said about deep cover because that. Yeah, no, and it's like people are so wrong in their misconceptions. They don't really understand what's hiding in plain sight.
Nobody. They're like, oh, so Epstein wouldn't be alive driving a work truck?
Yeah.
Well, aside from the alive or dead part, the granddaughter of J.C. Penney drives a Prius.
Uh-huh.
You know, people have misconceptions about roles and covers, all sorts of things. If only people knew the things that we knew, they would want to march up in houses. And that's actually coming to fruition very soon.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I don't want to...
Okay, no, yeah, I'm kind of worn out, but we could talk again soon. That would be way nice. Thank you for calling, Patrick. Okay.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye.